As people enter middle age, the relationship between exercise and protein becomes one of the most powerful drivers of long-term vitality. The body at 40, 50, or 60 responds differently to training than it did at 20, and this shift isn't a sign of decline. It's an opportunity to create strength, resilience, and metabolic stability that lasts for decades. Exercise of any kind raises protein needs because the body becomes more eager to repair tissue, build muscle, and upgrade its metabolic machinery. When movement and optimal protein intake are paired together, the effect is almost synergistic. People feel stronger, recover faster, think more clearly, and preserve a level of physical capacity that keeps life active and enjoyable. Strength training has the clearest impact on protein needs because it directly stimulates muscle fibers to repair and grow. After midlife, anabolic resistance means the muscles require slightly more amino acids to trigger the same growth response. This isn't a disadvantage. It simply means that consistent protein intake works even better in middle age because the body relies on it more heavily to maintain muscle quality. When someone in their 40s, 50s, or early 60s lifts weights or uses resistance bands, the muscle tissue becomes more sensitive to protein for the next 24 to 48 hours. To support this adaptation, experts often recommend around 1.0 to 1.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for regularly active adults, with the higher end benefiting those who train multiple days per week or aim to gain muscle. With the right protein intake, strength training can reverse age-related muscle loss, improve posture, reduce joint strain, and even enhance bone density, all outcomes that make everyday life easier and more energetic. Cardiovascular exercise also influences protein needs, although in slightly different ways. Whether someone is doing brisk walking, running, swimming, or cycling, the body increases protein turnover to repair enzymes, mitochondria, and muscle fibers stressed by repetitive movement. Middle-aged adults often notice that cardio feels smoother and more efficient when they maintain adequate protein intake because protein supports mitochondrial production, the tiny power plants in cells that shape endurance and energy levels. Regular cardio also improves insulin sensitivity and circulation, which makes it easier for muscles to pull amino acids into cells and turn them into functional tissue. This means that meeting higher protein targets doesn't just build muscle, it can also amplify the metabolic advantages of aerobic exercise. Even a moderate increase, such as moving from 0.8 g/kg/day to 1.0 to 1.2 g/kg/day, can noticeably improve energy stability and recovery in people who do consistent cardio training. Endurance activities, especially those lasting an hour or more, place greater demand on protein because the body sometimes breaks down amino acids for fuel when energy needs rise. Runners, cyclists, hikers, rowers, and swimmers in middle age often benefit from protein intakes on the higher end of the recommended range, around 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram. This supports both the repair of microtears in muscle and the remodeling of mitochondria needed for stamina. Because endurance exercise elevates cortisol temporarily, adequate protein helps balance this stress hormone response and reduces the risk of muscle breakdown. For many middle-aged endurance athletes, distributing protein evenly throughout the day, especially including 25 to 35 grams at breakfast, leads to better training quality, reduced soreness, and a stronger sense of vitality during long sessions. Across all types of exercise, one principle stands out. Protein distribution matters almost as much as total intake. Middle-aged adults usually get enough protein at dinner but underestimate breakfast and lunch. When protein is spread throughout the day, the body receives 3 or 4 separate signals to build and repair muscle. This rhythm becomes particularly valuable after 40 because it enhances metabolic efficiency, improves appetite regulation, and stabilizes energy. Many people notice they feel stronger during workouts and recover faster when protein is consumed in balanced portions rather than saved for the evening meal. The impact on metabolic health is equally meaningful. Protein supports lean mass, which directly improves insulin sensitivity and increases daily energy expenditure. Muscle tissue burns more calories at rest than fat tissue, meaning that a modest increase in muscle mass can significantly improve weight regulation in midlife. Exercise magnifies this effect by increasing the number of mitochondria and improving the body's ability to use fat for fuel. When combined with protein, this process becomes even more effective, helping people maintain a healthy metabolism without strict dieting or extreme routines. What makes this picture especially encouraging is that the necessary adjustments are simple and sustainable. A middle-aged adult who exercises 3 to 5 days a week doesn't need exotic supplements or complicated eating plans. They often just need slightly more protein and a more strategic pattern of intake. A day with protein at every meal, combined with enjoyable exercise, can transform how the body feels and functions. Eggs or yogurt in the morning, beans or chicken at lunch, tofu or fish at dinner, and small snacks like nuts or edamame create a pattern that supports muscle, metabolism, and long-term health. The positive message is that aging does not diminish the body's potential, it simply changes the inputs required to thrive. Exercise increases protein needs because the body is trying to grow stronger, more resilient, and more metabolically flexible, and meeting those needs allows those benefits to unfold fully. With the right combination of movement and nourishment, middle age becomes a period of building, not loss, and a phase where physical confidence, vitality, and performance can be better than ever.